podcast for you guys. But now, back to the English stream here. We are going to be watching both TNC Pro Team as well as FOXURA continue their best of 3. Winner of this series will be advancing with a 1-0, where the loser will be fighting for their potential last life in the 0-1 bracket group stages.
Hey man, it's not all over just yet. It's all about who can win. It's all about winning here. Win the series at anything, you know? Whatever it takes to get over that line. So far in this second band, we are seeing that FOXURA is going to be on blue side, with TNC Pro going to be opting to go on the red side. Either that, or they've decided to load their players over to each other. One or the other, right? We do see Lo Yi and as well as Angela Bands coming out for the side of TNC Pro, Matilda as well as Fredrin. Interesting. Getting rid of the Fredrin must show that at least for TNC Pro, it's a bit of an issue for them.
Okay, so I think FOXURA is on the blue side this time, and TNC Pro Team is on the red side. Okay, based on the player roster here. Okay, and I like how now that I mention it here, like they banned the Lo Yi on the right side, so maybe TNC is actually on the. Okay, so
TNC guaranteed on the red side here. If I was FOXURA, I would want to be on the blue side, right? There's some really important
fair enough. Like I was expecting maybe they just don't want to play against Lo Yi if they were on the red side again.
I don't know about that one. I feel like at the end of the day, right, a lot of teams, especially professional teams, a lot of them decide, you know what, let's ban out the things that we highly prioritize because we think that it's absolutely broken. And Lo Yi, I think, falls in no exception here. However, Harith does get through this time for FOXURA, and now TNC Pro Team, they got to figure something out here. They could go with a double fighter situation. I doubt it. I think they're still relatively comfortable playing the Claude. Worst comes to worst, maybe even the Brody, right? It really kind of depends on what they're most comfortable with in terms of their gold laner now that Roger is out of the picture. So now it comes down to maybe they even go for like a blind pick Vexana early on for Hatred. We've seen him play it a couple of times. Ben Things, he played a strong Arlet. Why don't we get him once again?
Okay. This time switching things up, they are going to get the Barats for themselves, so that's really, really good here. And I feel like Harith doesn't have too much issues against these two compositions, right? Like Harith's true damage is just annoying to work with here, since based on the current patch if playing Stardom, etc. But I feel like the TNC Pro Team, it has worked for them, the Harlot, and I feel like FOXURA, they just don't have an answer to the Arlen in Game 1. So this time, they have to figure a way on dealing with this.
Well, I think if they want to really deal with it, there's multiple ways they can do that. They can get a Phoveus, they can get him, they can also get a Mincetar if they really don't like the dashes, to be fair. Another argument would be single target pickoff, right? But that's a little difficult because, again, you're looking for as many overlaps as you can to get that advantage. Now, we do actually get to see the Minotaur get locked in once again. Blind pick here. It does mean that this Harith is going to go into the jungle if that Moskov is true, but a little concerning here. Concerning.
I'm actually not a big fan of this composition. Like, I was expecting Harith gold lane, but no. Okay, Harith jungle, Harith mid. I don't think it's Harith mid, though.
No, I think it's Harith jungle. I think it's going to be Harith jungle. It's going to be played by Maelstrom.
Okay.
Sorry, it's going to be played by Dusk.
Dusk. It's
going to be played by Dusk, and I think that TNC Pro, they're looking at this and they're like, okay, guys,
it's clear.
It's clear that they're going to have multiple dashes, and it's clear that our gold lane is going to win, right? If William wasn't able to win game number 1 without much help anyways, we could play the Claude once more. And I think that makes a lot of sense here, right? Claude, you take the Purify as well. We don't know whether this Harith is going into the jungle or the mid lane. Doesn't really matter at the end of the day. There's still multiple mid lane options that they can go for, one of which can be Valentina, can steal away the Minoan Fury. They can still go for Vexana if they really wanted to, for just strong wave clear. Novaria, there's plenty of options.
I think from TNC's Pro Team, they have so much more options to work with, right? Like, you can put the Arlet onto the role position and then just get a Phoveus on XP lane, which benefits from the Harith as well as the Moskov, right? When Zaman Force comes in, absolutely zero value just because of the fact that Phoveus is just gonna take the full chunk duration off your Chrono Dashes and just use it against you. There's just nothing much Harith can do, and just so much raw damage to come into play. So for FOXURA side, if they don't ban the Phoveus right here, you know, TNC can use that option to say, like, it's okay. Roam, Arlet, XP, Phoveus, and this Harith is just going to be completely useless this entire game.
Well, if they want to set something up like that, they probably will have to lock in their mid laner here.
Yeah.
As 4th pick as soon as TNC gets priority. We see the Rizla get banned here, and as well as the farmist from the side of FOXURA. Good thing for FOXURA to cover up as many team fight options as possible for TNC Pro. That makes a lot of sense, right? We've seen Hatred play lots of farmist, lots of Ixana as well. They get rid of the CC, so TNC Pro want to make sure they have control over that side lane here. But keep in mind, FOXURA, they can easily play Benedetta if they really wanted to, right?
Yeah.
Things Swiss Army knives of the EXP lane, almost worst comes to worst.
I think when it comes to this draft here, from the idea that FOXURA is having right now is they want to set up for a fight relying around the Minoran's Rage and then going for the Wombo combo, right? In terms of tempo breaker, Fura is great. You drop it out here, oh wait, I've got like everybody immune 10 HP, everybody's like, just gonna be standing still. The full combo of the Minoran Rage gets completely cancelled out. And one Digi just completely shuts that down if TNC Pro Team decides to go for it, but Valentina is banned, so I'm a little bit surprised by this Valentina ban, but maybe they just don't want to count a combo breaker for this.
No, they just don't want something that's really like reliable and easy for the side TNC Pro Team. We see the Aurora come in. I like that a lot.
Okay.
Great space denial. Great way to kind of combo together with this Barat or even with this Arla, worst comes to worst. At the very least, it's all about peel, right? It's clear that TNC want to play a traditional front to back, and they have a lot of pick-off elements in their composition, but it's kind of dependent on whether FOXURA makes that mistake, right? So now they see the Aurora, and they realize, oh, we can't just jump onto one singular target. The only person we might want to consider doing that is Hatred, but sorry, not Hatred, but Nomad on this Natan. But that's like the only exception, assuming that he's not taking Purify or his entropy is down.
I think this is weird, but at the same time, TNC Pro Team, they've got this Aurora where if, again, like you said, like Arlot, one Wombo combo comes in, boom, Aurora gets at maximum value damage here, chain CC permanently done here, forcing everybody from side of FOXURA to go for the Purify, but the Archive is a great way to kind of disengage from that. In a way, it just buys a little bit more time, but it still takes the full brunt of the damage coming from Aurora. So I like that they're adapting, but this is a pretty weird, straightforward composition for FOXURA because where's the burst coming from? I don't think they have a burst at all.
I think a lot of that burst is going to come down to whether this Harith is able to kind of like control that mid lane, right? Because it's up against Hatred on this Aurora. Generally speaking, if Aurora wants to trade actively, it's a little tough against the Harith because he's so mobile, and a lot of her abilities are skill shot based.
No, I disagree. It's more like the Harith needs to play around the Zaman Force, right? You drop the Zaman Force. All Aurora needs to do is just drop an entire out on the Zaman Force, and you gotta get out of it.
Well, I don't see Harith actively wanting to trade against her in the first place, right?
Like I mean, in the overall 5v5 team fight, like you see the Zaman Force, one out there, boom, your entire Harith is just immobile immediately.
I think he's got bigger problems, right? I think he's got bigger problems to deal with. It's not even about finding an area to get the Zaman Force out. It's like whether or not Tenka can even find a Minoan Fury that's effective, because everybody has some kind of like an escape mechanic or some sort of like mechanic that makes them invulnerable to CC. So Natan can get out if he takes Purify. Like Hatred naturally has an inbuilt not a passive that doesn't allow him to move, but saves him from desperate situations. I mean, Ben things on this Grok is really smart, right? Anybody who gets CC, who gets locked down, is in a lot of trouble and will have to use their Purify super early on. So I think generally TNC Pro Team, they've got a really good composition to work around here, and I think it's kind of up to FOXURA, especially Siti Norsana, to get access to that backline on a Lapu of all things. So good luck to FOXURA. This is not going to be easy.
Yeah, well, considering that you've listed out the weaknesses of FOXURA's draft, I've listed out my side on the take of this game here. It is going to be a tough match indeed, and I hope and I pray for their best, because as of now, we're going to be jumping into game number 2 here. It is going to be FOXURA going up against TNC Pro Team, game 2. And of course, if TNC wins this, they will advance into the next phase, while FOXURA is going to lose their second knife.
Well, let's see whether the buffs are going to get reset. Force out that retry, brother. Yep, Dusk having to use his retry super early on. Ryzen just finishing off. They're going to be on opposite sides of the map and end up in 2 different spots. We are expecting Ryzen to end up on gold side and fighting for the Litho Wanderer here in comparison to Dusk, who is going to be on the top side of the map, looking to eventually affect the EXP. They're going to be stealing away at least one camp here, right? Yeah. Oh no, it still falls into the hands of Hatred. Unlucky. It does mean that we're expecting Ryzen to start walking into enemy territory and stealing away as many camps as he can.
Yeah, this is going to be tough here, considering the fact that right now, TNC, all they gotta do is just chill. And
so
FOXURA, okay, tank, what? Oh no,
they're about to die here.
He got a little bit aggressive. Not sure what he was trying to do around the wall there. He could have just gotten out.
Hey man, it happens, man. More like Maelstrom, he ends up dying at level 2. Worse yet, with his Purify. So this is gonna happen again, right?
Yeah.
If anybody catches him with a single CC, TNC are gonna throw everything at him to get the free kill.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna get his 4 before the first solo fight here.
Oh, he might just, if he walks down that river, he's dead.
Oh, okay.
Don't do it, buddy. Don't do it. Just wait for the next wave. You don't have vision there.
Well, he doesn't have a final slash, so that's an okay side Hatred, no. Okay, they're just waiting here. They're sharing XP. They're trying to get Hatred's 4 up before the first solo fight. So that's something that the tier 1 teams love to do, right? Like after the first few waves here, they set up the mage and the XP. They soak up XP, and right now they're setting up 3-man here as well. They've got Ryzen here. Hits looking for the one-shot. City is dead. Okay, they even drop hits here.
Nice.
Very quick 4.
Nicely done.
Wait, what? Why are you doing that? Bentix, how are you hiding the entire duration there and Fox not realize that it's happening as well?
He just used the wind glyph to hop over the wall and then walk in between the turrets.
What?
Yeah. No, it's fine. I think that FOXURA just weren't paying attention, unfortunately. But TNC Pro, they get away with quite a lot here. 2 kills, a purple buff, as well as a free turtle. This is a really good early game for TNC Pro, and now they're going to start choking out their... Oh, okay. Hatred!
Zaman Force has been expended as well. Do they find one in the top side? I'm not sure. Observer, look up. Melistra actually finds Hatred, so that's a good sign from FOXURA. Meanwhile, TNC maybe showed a little bit too much overextension there.
Sorry, we couldn't see Hatred dying there because, you know, mass murder. Showing a public execution is just PG-13, bro. We gotta keep it PG here, man. We can't. Hatred, he got done dirty. He got done dirty. He loses his passive. He also loses his flicker at the same time. But City Narsana ends up dying regardless. So even so, they're trading 1 for 1. Not the best spot for FOXURA, but at the same time, Heads now getting a good amount of gold because of that play.
Well, he is farming very, very efficiently as well. Almost a full gold plating. Not even 5 minutes in the game. So that's a very, very big start for TNC Pro Team. Meanwhile, even though 1,600 gold is not a big lead in normal circumstances here, but this is 3 minutes we're talking about. And
did he steal it? No, he forced retreat.
They forced retreat.
Oh, thank God. That would have been so frustrating. That would have been so frustrating. But here's the motion, right? TNC looking to dive.
Oh no, Tenka. He's going to get caught out. Dragged down into his as well. Ryzen. Nope, not going to be using the Daytona's Welcome here. They will burst him down before the Miran's Rage comes in. CC, no use. So many CC immune coming from TNC Pro Team. Melistra comes in. Why did you dash forward? He's going to die to this. Oh no. They force a Purify. That's huge. Zaman Force still not expended yet. So TNC, they're just trying to bait this out. But guess what? They don't even need it. Hatred was just waiting for him and just completely one-shots the Melistra. Oh boy, this Harith. Ouch.
Yeah, Harith is not having a good time here. Hatred has just got his number. He sacrificed an entire mid-wave. He knows that he's a level ahead of Maestra, so he just needs to make sure that he can't read him on the map. So he sacrifices the mid-wave, shows up where he needs to be, and as soon as Melistra decides to get a little bit more greedy, losing out on both this Purify as well as a charge of the Zaman Force, not finding an auto reset. Wait, he dies again! He dies again to bend things!
What was going on with FOXURA right now? And now Easy Turtle from inside TNC Pro Team here. FOXURA again needs some way to fight back. Like, they can't really out-sustain TNC Pro Team because the amount of burst the TNC Pro Team is bringing to the table, it's just a little bit too much for FOXURA to handle. They need this Harry to come online, and so far, he hasn't been able to do so at all.
I mean, we literally have 3 losing lanes right now,
yep.
So... Do it, William. Do it.
Do it. Nope.
Intrusive thoughts. Go in. Try to 1v1.
Coward.
No, he's not a coward. He is not a coward. He's making the smart decision here.
Yeah, look at Bentix. He's getting left uncontested. This Grok is just unchaseable. And I like... Oh, no. No, man. It's dead. Okay, William, get a little bit greedy there. Hatred once again saves the day for TNC Pro Team. Hatred just playing at a different level in this game.
Hatred. It's good to see him play back on form, right? It's been a very long time since his days of Onyx PH, but now that he's with TNC after his stint in Cambodia as well as Malaysia, he's kind of, you know, it feels like he's back at home. He's dead.
Yeah.
He's so dead.
This is the perfect example of TNC Pro Team. Hey, we may be 8th place in regular season, sure, whatever, man. Like, let us release the hatred on TNC, on FOXURA right now. They're just beating him up, and now oh no, he didn't even get the promo buff.
Hey man, Hatred's farming. He's having a good time. He's having a good time. This is like vacation for this man. He's literally looking at Ben things and is like, oh, you know where they're gonna rotate? Okay, I'm just gonna sit here. Bring him to me, brother man. Brother man says yes, yes I will.
Oh boy, Ryzen, you know, looking for the play.
Jeez, Ben things, stop it. Stop it, man. What are these walls? Even his walls are nasty. Yeah, dropping the emote. You take no damage from a guy.
They just don't have a damage kill Grok. Like, in terms of overall DPS, like, the only way to kill Grok right now is just bursting down, and they don't have burst. Like, having DOTs is not going to help them at all.
Hey, man,
and bottom lane, Hatred. Hatred is just finding solo pickoffs. Or in this case, even 2-0 pickoffs is just using his teammates as bait.
No, he's doing it for fun. Like, William used this Inspire and decided to try and dash in. Like,
Hatred drops it out. Xamarin Force completely useless. This is what I'm talking about. Even if I go down, I'll take one with me. In this case, the Lystra cannot play the game. Nomad now flickers away. He's gonna die to this, and this is actually huge for FOXURA. Now, Final Slash comes in. It's gonna be 1v3. Bentix is here to turn the fight, and this is two very, very tanky heroes, and they can't kill him off. And now, He's gonna try to trade off as much as they can. City Rosana is just stuck in a very, very difficult spot, but TNC Pro Team, they only lose one, and they are able to get out here. FOXURA disengages.
Nomad very naughty, this guy ends up using his entropy into the heavy spin, thinking that his Purify is still active, gets knocked backwards, and he's like, oh crap, I'm stuck in the middle of everybody here. I mean, TNC Pro, they gotta make sure they maintain this lead.
Oh boy, big, coming from Hatred here, no follow-up, so that's a good sign for FOXURA. Baits out the ultimate for now. But are they going to capitalize on this? I don't need to.
Nope. No need to. There's literally no need to. Like, TNC Pro have control over the entirety of the map. If they want purple buff, they can easily fight for it. I mean, FOXURA don't want to be caught in these tiny corners against TNC Pro Team or get funneled in, because that just makes Hatred's job so much easier. Current gold leader so far has been Nomad on this Natan. He's eventually going to outscale this entire lobby.
What is Bentings going to... Like, Bentings is in the faces of FOXURA, and this is just nothing FOXURA can do about this here. They force a retreat on Rise, and they really want to try and chip away the heavy spin right now.
Good
but
macro.
Again, Tier 2 will fall. Great zoning coming from a TNC Pro Team here. Fox just not given any sort of space to even push out at all.
Yeah, do you know why that happened? Because Ben thinks is just taking free damage from Molestra. No, it's true, because he can visibly see Tenka and as well as Molestra down by mid lane. They walk into purple. Oh, wait!
Oh, wait. Final Slash comes in. More charge connects them too. Minon's range is huge, but they have to focus on somebody. The fight is split off right now. Thus, getting focused down by TNC Pro Team. They get one kill throughout the chaos, and FOXURA just cannot make up their mind on who they want to fight with.
I think it's fine. This is still good for TNC. They have priority. They still have entropy on Nomad. He can outplay this if necessary.
Oh, Bendings is just, again, you know, being extremely annoying. FOXURA just not going to contest the Lord at all, and I don't think they can at all.
Nope, they cannot. They cannot. They don't have the Minoan Fury, which is their biggest engaged tool for their upcoming team fights. Without Dusk and as well as Tenka's ultimate, it's really difficult to play the game.
Bendings looking for the fight here. William will be shocking his way through here. Hatred, they call him his. Oh no, final stage comes in. There's no way he's gonna get out. Xamarin Force being dropped in. The Lystra trying to do as much with the Chrono Dash, but just no damage up on Bendings. He's just so far ahead.
he buys a Brute Force breastplate. He's so big.
Like this. Oh no, he's gonna die. Like no, he's just messing with FOXURA. Bentings is so annoying. His Grok can't die.
Next time, if stands are real, if JoJo Bizarre Adventure is a real thing, I hope Bentings is my stand. Just him as Grok. That's all I want. That's all I want.
So confident, man.
Just look at him. He's standing there menacingly. If anybody walks up, he's gonna wall charge.
Oh boy, now Xamarin Esports use not getting any sort of value here. Heads taking a little bit too much damage. They can't focus him down. Range goes in. Connects on 2. No follow-up. Bentings wall charges 3 man into the Aurora out. But somehow they have a way to out-sustain this. Nomad dropping down a little bit too low. FOXURA was able to set out wombo combos, but no one has died throughout this entire CCs.
They're just limit testing. Like, Nomad could have easily killed everybody there had he just used his entropy. He was worried that he would get flickered on, and he is right. He did eventually get jumped on, but he still made it out. So at the end of the day, all he loses is his Purify, and that's about it. And I think that TNC Pro team could have easily turned that fight around. Let's look at the damage leaderboard, and guess who's on top? Because it's Molestra who comes back up to fight for stats.
What? He's died 5 times, and he's got the highest damage here. So I'm very, very surprised that no one is dying from TNC Pro team. And as of yet here now, Ben thinks, oh boy, here he comes again. Wall charges, stops Tenka in his tempo. They pop the Xamarin Force, no value.
So good.
They're going to focus on the Barrage for now. They told us about 4 man coming in. Thus, going to be zoning the back lines, and they were able to isolate the fight. This is huge for FOXURA. They find one. 4v5 here. Purple buff is going to be in the hands of Dust for now. But can they re-engage in this choke spot? Hatred. Just zoning them off. FOXURA is going to be very happy just trading off a jungler, but can they get more? But do they want to? No, they can't.
No, they can't. I mean, they could have found a little bit more there, to be fair. I think that, Heads, he's still holding up that final slash. He could have made an opportunity there, but I think it was really smart of Dust getting into the middle of that fight and making sure that he kind of splits the fight into 2, making sure that the majority of the damage is laid onto him rather than the back line of his team.
That's precisely what they need, right? Coming from FOXURA, like they need this Archive to do more so they can actually focus and isolate the fight. And as of now, FOXURA, that is pretty much a big kill for them. But again, 6.5k net worth need here. They have to do more. They need more than this.
Well, they should be able to start scaling up around now here. Molestra, he's going to be at the hardest part of his journey in terms of item build. Now he has to decide whether he wants to, whether he wants to get Blood Wings or whether he wants to really greed out and go for that Holy Crystal. Either way, it might be a bit too late right now, especially since they're 6k behind. But TNC, look at the way that they're managing these waves, right? Top side is naturally slow pushing. Bottom side is about to be set up for a slow push too. They have Prio over mid. Now they get to chunk out Dusk for free. Like, Ryzen can do this forever, essentially.
Yeah, they're just going to be... Well, for me, I think Ryzen is something, but Ben thinks right now is just, oh my god, wall block.
He is significantly worse. Yeah.
Like, it's so annoying. Like, this Grok is just untouchable, and I'm really surprised that he's getting away with all of these things, but could you blame FOXURA? They have to throw everything just to kill a Grok. Is that worth it just to kill Rober?
Well,
no, I don't think so.
I mean, to be fair, Ben thinks is the same level as Dusk. I think that's when the situation is real difficult here. And Ben thinks he knows that all of this is happening. He knows that there's a good amount of players currently in that brush, and he keeps opening the map up with it.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to out-retrieve Ryzen as well. He's close to 15. That's 3 levels ahead Retribution late game. Thus, he may be able to sustain Hatred here, but the Conceal play comes in. They want to go for wraparound. Can they find one? But no, they disengage. I don't think Fox realizes.
No, they do. They
kind of did, right?
William, he's recalling. He's recalling.
Oh, okay.
He's getting the heck out of there. He's expecting they're expecting a motion out of this Moskov, and I think Fox is doing a very good push and pull against TNC Pro because they're held hostage if the Lord fight is going to take too long, right? So it's all about making sure that these side waves are able to kind of slowly push into enemy territory, threatening their towers. It's a lot worse for TNC Pro team who still have their tier 1 still up.
Yeah, TNC Pro team right now in driver's seat, half HP on this Lord Forks now. Gonna be looking for the jump. The reset comes in once again. Minions still gonna be shoved up from FOXURA's side onto TNC's favor. So TNC, are they willingly gonna let go of this and just focus on the team fight rather than the lanes here?
Well, I think that TNC, they can starve out FOXURA for as long as they want, but eventually it's going to come to a point where they need to make a decision. Here we go.
Wall block comes, wall charge comes in, Dust dropping so low. Noma just poking Dust down to his half HP here, and they are going to try and mow down the Lord while this is happening here. Unless Dust goes for the play, nope. Not enough time, not enough distance.
Oh, wait,
but
can they catch the Moskov,
Wait, top side. They want to catch the Moskov here. They do get the burst. Natred still going to try and buy a little bit more time. Willem, he needs to get the spear out of there as well. Does he get it? No, he does not. Nomad comes in. He's in a bit of trouble here. He's going to try and fight his way, but nope. No, not good enough.
Yep, Hatred catches him on just the edge of his maximum range. Nomad ends up whiffing a majority of the abilities, even with the entropy to close the distance. But still, FOXURA, I mean, there's nothing much they can really do at that point, right? William is still trying to find some kind of side lane goal to keep FOXURA in this. And by the time that Lord is actually making it to their inhibitors, assuming that FOXURA don't stall it, right? They should at least lose 2 inhibs before we expect William to come back into the fight.
Yep, tier 3s now. Gonna be mowed down. That's gonna be 1 from the side TNC Pro Team. Top 2 should fall very, very soon. FOXURA struggling a lot to lure the Lord here. Great usage of the wall here to delay the Lord from channeling their bottom side here. Crystal is going to be exposed. They're throwing everything on this. They finally take down the Lord on the defense for FOXURA, but TNC, they're keeping up with the pressure here. 2 towers for now, looking for a turret down bottom. They have the immortality on hits right now. As Fox, looks for the play.
Oh, they're going to fight for the bottom side inhibitor.
They
and heads, he's standing there menacingly. They know that he can just use the final slash.
Oh, final slash comes in, won't zip out there, but tier 3 gets traded for absolutely 3. Bandits!
Oh my god!
Bandits from the side, the wall charge! From the side to catch all 3, all 4, but at the same time, they're losing members! Malestra was able to turn the tides with a double. He's looking for the triple. He trades off Nomad. That's going to be the first immortality. The saving grace for FOXURA is got to be Malestra on this Harif. And TNC Pro Team may have started the sickest opening, but the killer is got to be Malestra.
Oh, let's watch this fight once again. Really great engage coming out from Bentings. Huge wombo combo with Hatred, but as soon as Malestra was out of there, right, he starts chunking them backwards. And I think that's the big problem here. With the Purify, he gets out of significant damage and is still able to maintain his outer distance at max range against TNC Pro. So again, with his Zaman Force, he has enough damage. And I think right now, FOXURA is looking for an opportunity to set up the same exact situation all over again. But that's assuming that TNC make that first move.
I think this is huge for FOXURA. Like, technically, we would categorize Harif as a marksman right now. And this is a gold laner here, just because of how the meta has kind of shifted this ball. But considering we are now in the ultra late stage of the game here, we can consider the FOXURA having double marksman right now.
Yep. Well, I mean, they've got 2 hard scalers, right?
Yep.
Here we go.
And this is go time for them. If they can hold on to this, okay, never mind. Like, if William just disappears like that, it doesn't even matter. Now we're down with 1 carry. That's going to be Malestra right now. He's got to purify. If he dies, that's it for TNC. That's it for FOXURA for this game.
Well, we'll see, because this Lord definitely will fall into the hands of TNC Pro Team. I mean, they wanted to finish the game a little bit earlier, but FOXURA turned it around. This time, they know for a fact, hey, William, he doesn't... by the time this Lord spawns, wait, that should be in about 44, so 44 is another 10 seconds, 10, 14, 14 seconds plus another 20
55,
more.
1955.
No, he won't have his Inspire up by the time the Lord actually spawns and crashes down to their base. He should be like 10 to 8 seconds off, and TNC, they're not going to give him that 10 to 8 seconds.
I don't think Moskov is the biggest threat right now, because as of yet, big out coming from Hatred. They are able to stop the tentacle right now, but Lestra gets caught in the combo. He's going to go down. No more damage whatsoever. Minot's Rage is going to buy a little bit more time, but they need William to do a little bit more. He's poking as much as he can, but the Crystal